sure everybody has had a setback or two, or maybe 3 or even 4 in their lives, but our next guest says a setback is actually a set up for a comeback. So I wanted to welcome Kristen Brown. She is an empowerment coach here on SONORAN Living. You've been on a couple times. Welcome back.
Yes, I have. Thank you, Andy. It's great back to be here.
Well, nobody knows what it's like to bounce back from a setback besides you. So,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
As everybody is listening to this, know that Kristen has been there, done that.
I sure have.
And how long ago was that? A couple years ago?
2 years.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Well, let's get started. And tell me how would you define a setback?
What a setback is an upset in your life's dream.
Okay.
It's when something happens to you that was totally unexpected. It wreaks havoc in your life, and it puts you in a position of total unsecurity.
Right.
So everything you knew has totally changed.
Well, do you think that with certain people, I mean, if you have a setback, some people would just like fall to the ground and it would take them months, even years to get back?
Absolutely.
How do you sort of pick yourself up and move on from that?
Well, we call that the victim role.
Okay.
If you sit in the victim role and the poor me role, that is what happens is you perpetuate this long-term ground level of living. So to get out of the victim role...
So it's okay, can we be in the victim role for a little bit? Because wouldn't you think everybody is just going to say, why me? I don't understand.
There's always going to be that, Andy.
Okay.
There's always going to be that. It's going to be like, what happened to my life?
Right.
I did that. What happened? What is going on here? Why me? But if we sit in that role, if we stay in victimhood, then we're going to keep perpetuating that in our life. So at some point, we're going to have to change our thinking.
Okay.
And at that point, we have to remember that there's always a blessing behind any setback in our life. There is something going on behind the scenes that is going to bring you to empowerment.
So you had mentioned sort of change your thoughts.
Yes.
That's a great way to start and sort of pick yourself up.
Change your thoughts, absolutely. Setbacks can be creatively designed doorways to unlock our brilliance and power.
Okay.
And while we're in that gap, we discover more about ourselves, and we start to show up better on the planet, and we actually grow being in those places.
Sometimes I bet it's hard at the moment to think, oh, I'm sure this happened for a reason, it's going to be great. But if you look back at a lot of things that have happened in the past, I bet there's a lot of people that can say, okay, I know why that happened, and it's all good.
That's exactly right. So that's about being in faith and knowing that this is happening for me and not to me, even though it's very ugly and disruptive. It's about staying positive, Andy.
Okay. You had mentioned something about the what is.
Yes. When it's very, very uncomfortable position to be when your life is changing so dramatically like that. And the best thing to do is to accept this change as your new normal.
Okay.
This is now the what is in your life. This is happening right now, and I can't change this.
Right.
So I need to accept this and embrace this as my new normal.
Okay.
And when the tsunami hit my life, that is what I did. I said, okay, this is happening right now. What am I going to do with this? I just kept my hand on faith, and I knew that I was going to become more empowered from this. And I certainly did.
Probably for a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of people that, again, would stay in that victim role longer. I personally find that when things sort of push me, it just makes me push back harder.
Well, see, that's good. So you're a natural fighter.
I think I am.
You are, and there's a lot of people that are like that, and there's a lot of people that aren't. For whatever reasons, they don't have that fight. So that's what I'm hoping to do today, is to empower people to build that fight back up in you. This is not the end.
Exactly.
It's the beginning.
Think of it as the beginning.
Think of it as the beginning.
You had said something like you just have to want it.
Yes.
How do we change our mind or how do we know what we want? Obviously, we don't want what's happening right at that moment,
well,
right?
That's the key.
Anything is better.
We don't want this. As soon as you know you don't want this, you start aiming for what it is that you do want.
Okay.
And when you are looking for what you do want, the best thing to do is to stay inspired.
Okay.
Surround yourself with people that are empowering and inspirational, and read inspirational literature, attend groups if you need to. Do whatever you need to stay inspired, because it will wax and wane a little bit, but eventually you will start your path upward again. So stay inspired.
Okay.
And the one, I put that quote on there. And the other day I was watching a movie on TV, and it was, I'm sure you remember, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah, what is the quote?
It was released in 1968, and I was half asleep on the couch, and I heard this little song, and he was saying, out of the ashes of destruction grows the roses of success. And it kept going over in my head. Finally I opened my eyes, and I said, yep, that's exactly right.
The famous quote of Chitty Chitty,
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, 1968.
Kristen, thank you so much. so much.
Thank you, Andy, so much.
Congratulations for wanting it and not playing the victim. We have the phone number on the screen if people want to empower themselves with your help, 602-918-9634, or you can get more information from Kristen at SONORANLiving.com.